was interesting. I know why that chooses to happen. Well, claims I'm streaming. Do I trust it? Just check our stream. All right. Yep, looks like we are back. For sure. And over. Back in. Get our window back up. And chat. And we are Roger Wilco. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but thankfully pause feature. Not bad. 3 kilometers off directly from from takeoff. Okay. Alright. So yeah, we did not plan this window. I feel like I should be bragging and saying, I planned this. This was the smartest thing I've ever done. No. No, no. Just dumb luck. Extend some antennas, extend some solar panels, so we don't lose control of this darn thing. I'm not even in orbit yet, and I'm already looking at doing target maneuvers as our first maneuver. We're just in a very high suborbital flight at this point, which just happens to come within 3 kilometers. Is that 3 kilometers? Yeah, 3 kilometers of our target. Lane retrograde to target. And when we get there, we'll go ahead and level out, I think. Let's just see, can I make any adjustments in the meantime to make this just a little closer? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, we can. Yes, we most certainly can. Okay. 0.9. I like 0.9. 0.9 it is. The tiniest of adjustment burns coming up in 1 minute. So this is something you would not be able to do in real life in terms of the sequence of burns we're doing. This is actually going to be wasteful now, isn't it? I think. Possibly. We might have excess fuel. Transfer some fuel from the drop tank. To the main tank, into the actual transfer tank. This drop tank is designed to just get kicked off once we get to orbit. Other solar panel we can extend. And again, I will remind everyone that we are still on suborbit at the moment and heading for our target rendezvous. So suborbital trajectory as of now. heading for a 0.9 kilometer intersect where we will complete our burn. So now we can aim retrograde target, which will turn into prograde orbit once we reach that point. So we're going to set a maneuver node for exactly there. Just total silliness that we're doing a direct burn to the station. Eat your heart out, NASA. NASA, get wrecked. Okay, let's aim orbital retrograde for just a second, so I can drop this extra fuel tank. Now this is totally empty. So drop tank fire. Now we've exposed our docking port, and that is. I didn't even really need the retro package on that now, did I? Since it's not in orbit yet. This engine is driving me crazy. There it goes. Target. Nope. Target, we want retrograde, so don't flip around just yet. There you go. There you go. I don't know why this nozzle does that all the time. Alright. This is definitely one way to do orbital rendezvous. So we got 104 meters a second of correction to try and do, by the looks of it. So I might just give that maybe 4 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. 3 seconds from target is what I'll do. We've now matched speed with target. This is just totally silly. Don't know what to make of this anymore. We are literally on, and we're on a completely perfect matched orbit in terms of a cycle here at 0.5 separation, turning into a 0.5 separation, turning back into a 0.5 separation. So, in other words, we directly shot to rendezvous. I don't really have words for this right now. How do I do these things? I don't know. So just a small burn that way. Now we can aim retrograde target again. I'll start switching to RCS once we're nice and close here. And I'll just dock this on the front ring, which is the, in theory, is the fuel supply ring. Rather than the primary docking ring. Now, if I had tried to time this, like, intelligently, I would not have pulled this off. I don't think. So let's see. We want to be able to see this sucker. So we want this ring right here. Which to it. We want to control from that node. And we want to set... That's not it. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Where's our friend? The refueler. There it is. There we are. Perfect. Now we got a clear shot for rendezvous. We'll go into docking mode this time, and actually remember to do docking mode. Oh, we're in rotational mode. Linear, please. Why is there always something wrong? Rotational. Aim. Linear. Thank you. RCS back on. No wonder it was going all over the place. Pretty well lined up to me. Heading right for that front refuel ring. So that's where all the fuel tanks are going to go. Since there's this weird break right here that has no atmospheric enclosure, this front ring really won't be useful to the crew that are here unless they want to EVA over. There we go. A last minute adjustment. Oh, and we attached to the zenith. I thought I was attaching to the port side. That's fine. That's fine. Not too worried about that right now, I guess. Now we do definitely have quite a bit more fuel on this. We do not still have the 4,000 units we need somehow. We have 3,795 capacity, 3,016 units. So, yeah. Still would need another refuel ring. Slash some more in the science module when I unlock that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to be really picky for a second. I'm going to undock this. Just going to slide us away ever so slightly. Actually retract these solar panels before we hit them. Now control from here. Set as target. I don't know why it's doing that. It's making me like rotate to a weird position I don't want to do. Control from here. That's bizarre. That's why it docked in the wrong port. I was wondering about that. Okay, well, that's fine. Set this one as our target. I will have to, whoop, not do that. Not do that. There we go. Keeps getting me. I keep forgetting that I changed over to staging mode. Retract this solar panel, or is this a permanent one? I guess this is a permanent one. Whatever, it's fine. Turn RCS off and do our little maneuvering there. Line this back up. Okay. Yeah, the instability of this is definitely standing out. I should have put some RCS pods further down. Trying to trust the nav ball, but it's not really what I want it to anyway, right now. Plus, I am getting a little bit of... Oh, I'm back in rotation mode, that's why. I really need to pay attention to this stuff. There we go. Very sloppy, but got the job done. All right. So we'll send out one more refuel tank to go on the opposite side here. And I'll send up a science lab to connect somewhere on this node once I've unlocked the science lab. So a good amount of progress, at least, on getting a space station in Kerbin orbit with all the requirements that we had. Some pretty steep requirements. This is a pretty expensive craft at this point. Let's see what our moon... yeah, our moon stuff's doing pretty good, I guess. Our refueler for the Valentina Kerman station. Looks like it's still a while out. More beer, that'll help. Alright. 2 hours, 59 minutes. So 3 hours, more or less, from its perigee with the moon. when it'll start working its way. Our probe. This has another almost 6 hours to its encounter. So we can work on the Kerbin set. Since I don't have the science lab to send up to the Jeb Kerman station yet. Still, like, no time has passed, is why. Just so silly. Still forgot I have this old thing as an option. Station cores, the old station cores. So this is the station core for Valentina Kerman station. Kind of a mini version of what we just loaded up on the Jeb Kerman station. Like it just looks like a small version of it. But that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for probe core B. Oh. This is probe core A. No. Don't save. Probe core B. Yep, probe bus B. There we go. I'm gonna make a similar craft for the Kerbin satellite as we had for the Munsat that we just launched. But I don't think it requires any science at all. Yep, it just needs to reach the right orbit. So we'll take all that stuff off. And then I still have the option of structural tubes. So I'll do something similar to the last one as well. It's going to be significantly lighter as well. Mildly inconvenient to launch. I feel like I built the last one better. Wow, yeah, it's a wide fairing. Reminds me of good old times. Yes, back in the saving Jeb days instead of killing Jeb days. Let's see, what if I do that? And I can then rotate this. And move them. Should that be sufficient to capture? It's gonna be a little weird. It might be a little better. We'll see if it works. And then we don't need the Mooner transfer launcher. We need this guy. This is lighter. Although I do again need to add the Separatrons. Definitely need the Separatrons. Yeah, it looks clear. Now, again, we want the main engines to fire with those, to fire with these. And we want this to separate, that to fire. We want to drop the fairing first. Those down there, fairing and that, and those will be on the same position as that, and then that'll activate. Okay. Now we can get this up and get our curb and sat and at least make some money today. To offset all that space station building we're doing. It's a long return on investment. We need more science in the meantime as well, just to unlock the finishing parts. Alright, this is on its way. Much more powerful thrust to weight ratio on this model. So this stage should actually get us pretty well in towards orbit on its own. Just going to start a little bit of an early gravity turn because of that. See if we can do that stably. Fairly stable. Whoa. I need to totally level out. Like, destination orbit's high, but we don't need it to be like that. Yeah, this new first stage is way more powerful. Could have actually dropped that sooner even. Okay. Focus on getting orbit first. 43-second burn. Yeah, I definitely like this first stage a lot more. Now having the Bobcat engine makes all the difference. I might settle to change this out though and make this a shorter stage and make this a longer stage since this is the vacuum efficient engine. Although this did work just fine. Oddly enough, I've kind of spiritually recreated the Titan II missile here. The Bobcat here on the bottom, designed to model after the first stage of the Titan II, and the Cheetah designed after the second stage. So both those engines are designed after those. I mean, this is supposed to be on the wider, so this would be like a wider tank design, but I just cut it down to fit on this for this particular rocket. So at 22 seconds, I will stage into this. Now this stage will be able to get us part of our orbit. It's not only just our complete initial orbit, but some of our final orbit as well, which is why I've now got the deorbiting rockets on it. We don't need space junk. We're at least in orbit now. Okay. Very good. Now we need to start doing some maneuvers. So I'm going to raise this apogee up. I wonder if our inclination changes. Actually, not that bad. Pretty happy about that. Well, let's not get it all the way there. I want to get it close to the right apogee, but not quite, because we will inevitably raise our apogee with the inclination change burn. So I'm going to be happy with that, I think. That maneuver right there should do us. It's a 7-second maneuver. Coming up in 2 minutes. Time warp into that. Probe's gonna prograde track us, which is good. Should more or less keep us on target, since that is a prograde burn that we have planned. Alright, 4 seconds away, we're gonna start full throttle. Close enough for my liking. Now, an ascending node is our next real maneuver. Got a 2-degree ascending descending node here, so we're gonna correct those. Going anti-normal. Why it's not flipping the ascending node and descending node here? It's bizarre. It doesn't know that I'm targeting that orbit. Doesn't know what I'm doing. Okay, that should do. That maneuver now, how far away is that? 23 minutes. So we will warp to that as well. That is a 1 second maneuver, so I'm not going to worry terribly about that. Hopefully this shouldn't be too bad of a burn. Nope, don't really care about prograde right now, buddy. There we go. There we go, slight inclination change. Make it a 2 second burn. A little easier to do. And this should be the last of the fuel we bother to use from this stage. So actually this is another rocket that's proving math actually worked out pretty good. Doing this, taking an existing rocket that I know works and adjusting it based on what I see in calculations actually works out pretty good. Good. Ascending node reaches 0. That's good enough for me. Perigee still fairly low by comparison. So we should see deorbit as part of let's actually see, can I use a little bit of fuel and do a radial change? So I do have a little left in this stage for fuel. And that'll actually simultaneously lower the periaps and raise the apogee. That'll make it both easier to deorbit that stage and actually use a little more of the fuel that we would otherwise be trashing. I still have a full satellite worth of fuel. Satellite is designed to do quite a bit of its maneuvering independently. So overall, this is very over-designed. I probably could have just dropped a completely unmaneuverable satellite almost into orbit with just like a little tiny boost to get it the rest of the way to its final orbit. Okay, so yeah, that did lower our periaps. It did raise our apogee. Basically to where we want it. Now, what we need to do yep, that should do fine. Now you can see that's going to use just the very last of our fuel and then switch over to the satellite. So I'm going to actually stage directly into the satellite engine. This should be fun. 10-second burn. Let's make this a little less. So wait till 5 seconds before. Actually, wait till 7 seconds before, because this engine's going to have a lot less thrust. So the majority of the burning is going to be done early. So I'm going to wait till... not 7 seconds before. Let's make it... So it'd be 5 seconds, so let's make it Make it 3 seconds before. 3 seconds before is where we'll start. So a third of our burn will be done. Oh, that's actually not even right. Forget it. I'm overthinking. We'll do 4 seconds and leave it at that. Oh, I went right past our window. Okay. Love it. That was fairly satisfying. And we got our credit for hitting our orbit. Anyway. Now the question is this. Beautiful. It's fully and spectacularly deorbited. So everything there worked exactly as planned. When does that happen? It should have given us a lot of credits completing that satellite contract. And I now have an alternate mission for the satellite because I don't plan to keep it. So what I'm going to do... We're going to retrograde burn. We should have quite a bit of fuel to try and accomplish this with. And nobody important got hurt. Let's see. Thanks, Andy. That's a mighty good quote to throw into this moment. Let's see. Let's just set a couple of these as targets and see if any of these come close to a intersect at any point. Nope, I wanted to set as target, not switch to. Whoops. Stupid dead pod that I can't do anything with. See what we can do here. Need to lower perigee just a little bit. Most of these are on a 80,000 meter orbit rather than a 90. Oh, this one we should come pretty close to. Sidray's pod might be our target then. So what's our separation going to look like? It's going to be mostly a timing separation, which means we'd be looking at radial changes. Whoop, not the button I wanted to hit. I don't know how I just hit that even. And that just puts in the wrong direction, so now I know which way not to point. Try that again. There we go. Bring in our target intersect point a little closer. Not even bothering with the maneuver node. We're just doing actual burns here. Because we can get pretty accurate as is. Yeah, 0.3 is going to be the best we can do. The rest of that will get corrected as we, I was going to say as we adjust it, ascending node, but we might as well just wait, because ascending node is right there at maneuver. Splendid. Happy accident. And that is in 35 minutes. So neither of these should be ready to flip over yet by then, so we can go ahead, we can time warp into that position. And we're just picking a random pod to try and deorbit. Start getting rid of some of the space junk that we have lying around. Might as well use a contracted satellite that someone already paid for. Because to hell with them. We got our money out of them. That's all we need. Wow, we're going to approach this quickly. We have a lot of Delta V to close. Let's go full speed now. And we're gonna zip right by. See ya! If we had a more powerful engine, that would be more realistic, but that's fine. Just gonna watch our next intersect. Let's go ahead and make a radial change once more. We don't need any maneuver nodes. We need maneuver nodes. There we go. Does it have good specific impulse and stuff? Yes, this actually is a decent specific impulse engine. It is not as good as the Terrier or the Cheetah, which is the engine that it was on the lower stage of it. But it is compact, it is cheap. That is its main thing. It is 320 seconds of impulse and vacuum, and it is still cheap. So, cheapest shit in the world. Alright, now. We're off the world. So we got a very close intersect coming up here. So we're going to warp there now. We're going to track to target prograde. The retrograde, I mean. Yep, we're going to start burning now. There we go. Target should be relatively close. Very close, actually. No RCS for this, so we're back to docking things the hard way, but I can't imagine I'll struggle too much. We've done crazier things. Just going to rotate the solar panel a little bit so I don't have a accidental collision here with that. Yeah, actually, the best specific impulse and vacuum right now in the game is that that third stage engine I have on the K15, the AJ10. It's a large engine. It's actually modeled after the engine that was used on the Apollo service module, and then later, I think, adapted for the space shuttle, but I could be wrong there. Okay, coming fairly close to this thing. Don't want to be just a little bit in front of it. Spectacular. They still have the nuclear engines that they used to. They do. And they're way more efficient. They are something like 800 seconds of specific impulse. However, they are not liquid and oxygen engines. They only use liquid. So they don't use any oxidizer at all. So it does actually help it even more. Different fuel types, though. Hold on, we need to cancel this out a little bit, I think. Or just tilt it. Tilt it like this, so we don't have an interaction there. Okay, I don't really want any movement to target. I don't know why it's giving me like a little bit of a slide here. There we go. Not terrible, considering we're not using any RCS at all. And just bring it on in. Nice and calm. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. The rotation, gears out. Damn! Damn! Oh, that was so close. Okay, I think I need to actually, like, get to the... I think I need to actually approach the back of the craft. Of course, this is now spinning. It's like playing that little claw game at the store. Okay, we need to get it on rotation. Okay. We did stop it from spinning so wildly. That's a good plus. Canceler, movement to target. Okay. Not too bad. So we did knock it and stop its rotation. We need it to get, or at least slow down its rotation. We do need to get to the point where we're facing the back of it. Nope. We're just pushing it. Oh! Almost had it. Okay. What I might do, since I plan to deorbit this thing anyway, start prograde of it. us in position. This will be easier when I actually unlock the claw. Okay, we're now facing it and heading directly retrograde. Well, that didn't work as intended. And we broke off our solar panel, so we're going to lose power on this thing pretty soon. Well, it was a good shot. We need to deorbit this now before it becomes space junk as well. You made a noble effort, little craft. See how much I can slow this thing down. Could almost make a powered landing. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens on re-entry if it's doing this. I mean, I get the feeling this is going to be actually a pretty gentle re-entry by comparison. Oh, we lose an antenna. Before I lose all the antenna. I probably will lose all the antenna and all contact with this craft. It seems to still have antenna somewhere. Or maybe it's... Wow, no, it's just managing on internal communication. So I might be fine. No, there was no re-entry heating at all. We're still slowing down. Shame I didn't put parachutes on this thing. Server speed's not even that bad. The little satellite that could. All right. Take note, NASA. This is how we recover satellites, all right? Oh, let's just see. Well, we got 2023 funds back from that craft. That's good. Oh, and thank God we got an extra fund from all the fuel we didn't use. Would have been upset if we didn't get paid for the fuel we didn't use in that craft. Ooh, this I'm going to take. Satellite in equatorial orbit of Minmus. I'll take that right away. Let's check on the refueler. Yes, we need to rename that probe Chewbacca. That probe is Chewbacca. Quite literally. Why are there 2 orbits here? Oh, one of those is the adjustment that I'm not gonna make to my Munsat. All right, let's see if we have better luck with this probe, shall we? Or not this probe. This is the refueler. But when the probe finally comes. That probe did not make sense. I love our new relay network. It really does make me happy. I do need to fix this, though. This needs to be, I think, a little further out to make this totally an equilateral triangle. You know, because why not? Let's make a perfect equilateral triangle. These 3 relays. Still have Keosat making up some of the difference, though. And look at the comms connection into the MUN relay network. MUN relay network just doesn't care. MUN relay network doesn't give a fuck about you. Alright, so let's watch Munsat while we time warp the refueler to its burn. Now, see, that would be an interesting thing I'm going to do also is if I just put parachutes on when I finally get a grabber, and just have the grabber attempt to actually recover safely all the space debris. Those capsules are actually worth quite a bit. Like 600 credits each, I think. And for some reason I still have the old version of the probe core on this, and that makes me frustrated. I very much like the new probe core. Best you got me hooked. Opposite sides of the planet by the time we make our rendezvous. That's not helpful. Or opposite sides of the moon, I should say. So let's just go out to there, and I'm gonna eyeball this a little bit, because I think if I do there, make our inclination change. I know it's hard to believe that I would eyeball anything, but bear with me. Okay. And then at perigee, add maneuver. Pretty close. Perigee did shift a little bit. Right there. 0.7. Okay, so that's our 3 maneuvers that we need to do. We've got a 12-second burn coming up first. Wish I had that retrograde tracking. So I'll wait till 6 seconds to burn. At 6 seconds till burn, or till node, we'll do our burn. I always say that weird. I always say 6 seconds to burn, but it's 6 seconds till node is where we will burn. I'm combining both parts of my thought process. Alright, so there's our braking burn. Little bit of correction. Whoop, shit. Didn't have my finger on the X key like I thought I did. I want like more flight controls for this. I want like real flight controls for this. That'd be pretty cool. Alright. So that maneuver is dead. We're done with it. We're moving on. Next maneuver will be here. We'll still slide everything the way we intend to. We're still looking at a pretty decent intersect. Our timing looks like it's going to be a little off. So I can make it just a little bit of a maneuver here and correct that. There we go. Actually gets us closer in the end. This maneuver is now 3 hours away. So I think this one's braking maneuver might come up first. This braking maneuver is in 2 hours. So yes, this one's braking maneuver comes up before the next maneuver of our refueler. I'm still going to watch the Munsat, which if I can. Yep, there we go, Munsat. Wait till Munsat comes around on that final stupid scan so I can finally get that out of the way. Way more than I wanted to. 100 times, please. Oh, I just slowed me down there. That was weird. Munsat 1's looking like it's going to be coming up pretty soon on the maneuver that I want. On the scan that I want. So just tracking a lot of things with my eyes right now. I'm just kind of scanning what we got going on here. So I gotta worry about the maneuver of the refueler, the probe, and then also Mun 1 has its node coming up. Scan coming up. But it looks like we're gonna first get this guy's deal. Whoop, nope, don't do that. What's this perigee? 1,200,000. So we want 1,200,000. A little less, actually. Oop, nope. Don't do that yet. 1,200,000. So in our ascending node, descending node, we need to try and figure out. Typically, we'll raise our apogee a little bit. Or perigee, even. That should do fine. Oh, this one I can aim retrograde. Look at that. Look how nice and convenient that is. And I think these gears might work better than the one that I just tried. At a slightly different angle. Hoping these work better. A little bit of time warp. I'll try to perform a minimum of time warping as a whole. Don't like it that much. And wow, this moon transfer stage, it's actually going to be a moon impact when it deorbits, which is going to be interesting. Because it does have enough fuel to deorbit us as well. Or not deorbit us, but circularize our orbit with the moon. Not bad at all. Pretty good, in fact. So our descending node will be here. There we go. Yeah, so we are going to need to decelerate some. So I'm just going to watch our perigee, and I'm going to do a maneuver to get rid of some more of our fuel. So on this descending node, it is going to really throw us out of whack. How much fuel do I have left on the stage? It's like no fuel left on the stage. Yep, that was it. That's all there is for that stage. No, there isn't. Okay. There's more. How is there still fuel on this stage? There it is. Still aiming retrograde. We will we'll burn this sucker off. Or actually, no, we want to aim prograde for this, don't we? Because we want it to go the other direction. I almost made a mistake. Almost made a big mistake there. Alright. Say goodbye to the lunar transfer stage. That was pretty cool. Like that little deorbit burn. Now we can look at the ascending descending node. This will be right here. And now we can do that without going totally fucking crazy. We'll still need a little bit of deceleration when we do it. Because that's the key thing, is we're going to end up getting stuck doing deceleration anyway when we do this, so we might as well have done that when we did. Time this carefully. That looks pretty good. Looks like a pretty good maneuver. And that maneuver is in 3 hours. So the refueler will have the next maneuver. Although we might come up on Munsat 1's temperature scan quite soon. But I am going to time warp from here so I can see a little better. Because we can time warp faster from here rather than the Munsat 1's position. It's so low to the Mun that it gives a very slow time warp maximum. Whoop, we have got a maneuver coming up right here. Forgot about this maneuver. Well, let's get to it then. It's a quick maneuver, but nevertheless, got it coming up. Yeah, talking about efficiency earlier, this is actually the most efficient fuel and oxidizer engine in the game as of now. As Andy pointed out, the nuclear engine is more efficient overall, but it is using just straight liquid fuel. There is no oxidizer required for that, which I guess is better. It's even more efficient that way if you think about it. Perfect burn. That was beautiful. That was freaking beautiful. Alright. And more time warps. Got a while till next maneuver here. This should be the pass. The Munsat 1 gets us our temperature scan. We are coming up on our maneuver here, though, so we're going to have to maneuver to that. Going to be interesting timing. This is the danger of multitasking the way I do, as much as I do, is you may eventually come into a situation where you're kind of like picking or choosing between two things. This might be able to pull off everything. We'll see. Dealing with a 6-second burn. So at 3 seconds away, we'll be starting this. Oh, pardon me. Almost there. Now. Little correction. I can't wait till I get a node with maneuver tracking, or command node. What do you call it? Probe core. There we go. Probe core with maneuver node tracking. That would be really cool. It's our actual intersect. 0.4, actually better than our maneuver node was set up for. Fantastic. So we'll set up a maneuver for that, so we know when we're going to burn. It's only in 39 minutes. So that's going to come up next, because this guy's got a while till its maneuver. We've got Munsat to switch to. Alright. Good old Munsat 1. Oldest of the Munsats. Hopefully we'll get this last temperature scan. If we do, that might be the end of Munsat 1. Might try to do the upper scans from other satellites. This doesn't have a lot of fuel to deorbit itself later. Oh, it doesn't look like we're gonna get it on this pass. Munsat lives longer. Yep, didn't get anything from that. Wow. Okay. Alright. Munsat 1. It's infinitely circling the moon. Waiting for its time. See what happens on next orbit. A lot all going on at once here. Oh, that might pass right over. Look at that. Yep, it's going to miss its opportunity. Munsat 1's going to miss its opportunity, it looks like, for that guy. Remember, we're coming up quickly on our burn. We need to start aiming retrograde to target. Which is the Valentina Kerman Memorial Station, named in honor of our first casualty of 2 in our space program. Although she was not actually part of the space program. She was killed in the trainer jet flight. She never made it to space, I don't think. She did like a couple rocket flights, a couple like test rocket flights, but I don't think she ever made it to space. So it seemed appropriate the further station, the Mun station, would be hers. Okay. Pretty good cancellation there. Make a effort to get a little closer. Valentina Kerman Station, much smaller than the Jebediah Kerman Station, by the way. It's launched before we got a lot of the 2.0 diameter parts. Had a much smaller crew requirement as well when we were contracted to build it. But it does have a similar refueler to this one currently stationed at the back of it here. Let's see. We're going to aim for one of the two docking junior to docking node adapters that were sent up a couple launches ago, several launches ago actually, to upgrade the station and make it a little more future ready. We do still need to send up more stuff to make it more current, but that will be for another time. How's Munsat doing? It's a little ways away. We're good. Make our braking burn, and then we'll switch over to Munsat probably. Looking good. You can see our two docking adapters here. This is probably the one we're going to go for right here. The other part of that upgrade that went along with those docking adapters is this rear adapter. Another docking adapter, but also a power module upgrade. A power plant for the station. It's got larger solar panels, upgraded batteries, lots of good stuff. For our braking burn. Perfect. We're stationary. Let's check on Munsat 1. Multitasking like a champ. Can we finally get it? Can we finally get the scan, please? It's gonna be too far. It's gonna be too far. Oh, we didn't even have enough electric charge to do that anyway. Oh boy. Well, okay. Let's go back to the refueler. Let's dock this refueler and call it a stream. We'll have to come back to that probe another time. Now, I'm just going to aim this up at the intended docking port. We are going to control this station from the intended docking port. I'm going to set that as our target. That'll help us maneuver the station perfectly. This one working much better than the Jeb station. I guess that's to be expected. So there we are. Perfectly aligned. Beautiful. We'll switch to docking mode in RCS. Make sure we're in linear. And give it just a little forward kick. And this should be about as easy as we please. It's got just a little bit of an adjustment. It seems to be doing just fine. Good, 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 good. We were right on target. This should be an easy docking. Great. Perfect. Alright. Don't tell me we killed the contract. Don't tell me we did it. No! Still don't have 2,000 units of fuel. How do we not have 2,000 units of fuel? We have 1,592 units of fuel. Alright. I see how it is. We're gonna have to send another refueling tank. So much fuel required. Now, on the flip side of this, we could probably be getting rid of one of these refuelers pretty soon, between all the shared empty space on all the tankers. Probably this one. But we'll see. We'll send another tanker up. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, it's just like hurts my soul a little bit every time I realize that we still need yet another fuel tanker. $1,592. Wow. But at least it'll be a decent sized station by the time that comes around. And then we still need to send it a lander, actually, of all things. We do need to send it a lander. So we can start planning missions straight from the station. We'll start planning to do docking from the Jeb station to the Valentina station. And then off to a lunar excursion from a lander from Valentina station. So the idea will be that basically we'll have a craft that flies between both stations. Any lunar expedition will just have to get up to Jeb station and then take that craft over to here and then take the lander down. So it'll be little waypoints, little refueling waypoints. That's quite all right. We did pretty good today. We did pretty good. I think that's all we're gonna do. Let's just check real quick. Make sure we don't have the node like insanely close on this probe. Because if it is coming up insanely close, I'd rather take care of it now and not forget about it on the next stream. And miss our window. Much the way I killed its sibling, the Minmus probe. And accidentally put it into an orbit that would smash it into Minmus. Yeah, 1 hour, 35 minutes. That's good enough. We'll come back to it. So, with that, guys, I want to thank everyone for watching who watched. If you missed anything or you want to check out our older episodes or anything that we've had so far, check us out on youtube.com/dudeicalledyoubro. And as always, have a great night.